Good evening, book lovers of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber and I also read a page from a book of my choice. In this video, I am going to be reacting to a 5-minute video made by this person called Tabs, I think, who has 2.39 million subscribers, and this video is called Reading a Thousand Books in a Month. Now, I have already watched this one just to see whether there's anything I wouldn't be able to react to on YouTube in the video. This one has 1.2 million views. It was made about a year ago, and frankly, I do not believe the title at all. I think it's meant to be satirical in a way, but I am going to watch it with you people once again, and I'm hoping that you guys can let me know what you think in the comment section as well. Having watched the video already, I don't believe that this happened. Reading a thousand books in a month is simply not humanly possible, and even if you do read a thousand books in a month, there is only so much you can extract from all that knowledge, but we'll see what the video is like, and perhaps I'll get a new perspective upon watching it for the second time.
The title sounds pretentious, but the journey was interesting anyways.
Okay, so as you can see, there are these numbers over here in these yellow shapes, and this one is 1984 by George Orwell. I'm pretty sure there are 15 of them. She mentions them towards the end of the video, so let's take a look at the rest. Hopefully, we'll be able to identify all of them.
So let's share it. Last year, the intrusive thoughts finally won, and so I made it a New Year's resolution to read 1,000 books in a month. That's right, it's always been the American dream to become Megamind. You sure you're not just asphyxiated? No. Watch. Nerd. Bookworm, Anorak, Poindexter, Trekkie. You saw that coming, didn't you? Not even a little bit? Okay, it wasn't that bad. You just sound constipated now. And I was able to keep track of it all thanks to Goodreads.
Okay, Goodreads is definitely one of my favorite apps to track what I read as well. Massive shout out to Goodreads, by the way, not that they need it at all.
They have a reading challenge you can sign up for at the beginning of every year. But I didn't pledge to read 1,000 books for the challenge itself, because these reminders would be living.
My goal for 2024 was to read about 150 books. I am still slightly behind, but I will change that accordingly.
In your head rent free. So instead, I opted for one. Some healthy skeptics out there might ask, but why though? Just to see if I could do it? Are you a masochist? No. Are you intentionally?
I mean, to be honest, if you do plan on reading 1,000 books in a month, you have to have some sort of shred of self-hatred, because why would you put yourself through all of that? Even as a person who loves reading, I wouldn't want to fatigue myself in that manner and never wish to look at a book again.
Trying to fry your own brain? These questions suck. So you read. Name the first 100 digits of the square root of pi without a calculator. Bruh. To be fair, this was when a lot of activity-based places were still closed or limited due to the pandemic. So a lot of people either took advantage
Okay, Who Stole My Cheese by S. Johnson. I think I have this one in my collection. This is number 2.
of this time to level up, or let themselves go. Now, I wasn't about to jump into this challenge without having some sort of reading habit prior to it. That's like diving into a volcano without dipping your toes into it.
What's interesting about jumping into a volcano, to my knowledge, is that lava is way too dense for you to drown in it, so it's not such a good analogy, I think.
First, you mean cold water, right? You mean cold water, right? But like many peeps, I've been reading from elementary school.
Okay, this one is The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Zeus, I think, instead of Dr. Sussy number 3. There might be some titles which are completely different to what they're meant to be because of copyright reasons, I think, and this is definitely one of them.
School days when teachers used to color code books to instill the concept of comparison games into children for the first time, which made this more doable. Why?
I don't recall my teachers ever doing this, to be honest.
Stop there, right? Just look at the endless benefits to it. It's like green tea, which apparently is the cure for everything. Thanks to this pastime, it was the only
Flowers for Algernon. This one does not have a number.
thing keeping me from doing something out of pocket, like starting a cult out of boredom or becoming this guy. And in the recent years, it's become more like
I am enjoying all the memes, and I would love to be able to edit a video so well that I could incorporate all these memes to make the video more enjoyable and so that people would watch my videos for a longer time. But I don't think I have the know-how for that just yet, or the time for that matter.
crack. So, to reach this goal, the plan was to read 33 books per day, which meant having no life for the next month or so. 33 books. You really gone off the deep end. This is when we find the loophole and mix in shorter childhood.
The Starving Worm by E. Carl. I think this one is The Hungry Worm. I read this one when I was younger. It was also read to me by several people.
Books and even audiobooks, which count, by the way. No, sir, I wasn't going to be reading the average 200-page book for
And here we have The Goosebumps by R.L. Stein and Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney. My name's Jeff here.
all 1,000 of them. No aneurysms today. The genres I plan to read are listed here. Might as well throw the whole damn library.
This is precisely why I don't believe that the person who made this video read 1,000 books in a month. Because it would definitely take you more than an hour to finish any one of the books she decided to read during that month.
In there. Otherwise, if I was stumped about what to read next, I'd just go on Google recommendations, which was a fat mistake. Like, what in the world? D's Big Nuts, an unofficial joke book for Fortniters. How to Be Black.
This one has to be one of my favorites, by the way, one of my favorite books of all time.
For Fortniters.
This one right here, How to Be Black. Would highly recommend this one. In fact, I've been practicing quite a lot, but nothing seems to be working just yet.
Danny DeVito coloring book. Alright, but besides the last one, why? So I would head over to my nearest library, and as soon as I got cozy...
This one I read actually, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
The librarians would waltz over to tell me there was a 30-minute time limit for staying there. Why do you stop people from trying to get an edumacation? We are in a
Yeah, no librarian would behave in this way. There is definitely something suspicious about her.
I don't get paid enough for this. Nancy. What? Clock me out. I'm going home. You like that? I'm obviously kidding. The lady was nice. But eventually I lost track of time and got booted. Surprisingly, Barnes & Nobles was still open, so it became my holy grail and mecca. It just had that wider selection I was looking for. And on other days...
We have To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee and The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. I don't think she went through the trouble of changing this one, but it's a butterfly instead of a cockroach on the cover.
I'd remember the old dusty bookshelves I had at home, so I'd end up spending the day reading those too. I'd listen to audiobooks while I was drawing, exercising, driving, programming, shopping, and sleeping. Hey, wait a minute.
See, you wouldn't be able to do all of this if you planned on reading 1,000 books in a month. This would completely be out the window. This video is definitely meant to be satirical, I have a feeling.
Gotcha. And when I had no access to books, boom, thank you technology. I'd be flipping through digital books from
Misery
my light bright screen before I went to bed, and I'd repeat that over and over again until I reached my daily book count. I'll be honest, some days I just never wanted to touch a book ever again, but you gotta finish what you start. So I wanted to see this...
Ooh, this is definitely one of my favorite books of all time. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Not Mars by Douglas Adams, number 11, so we are nearing the end of the video, 2 more minutes to go.
Through to the end. I'm making reading books sound like it's an Indiana Jones mission, and before I knew it, it was over. So what did you learn? 1. I finally feel qualified enough to watch and understand Rick and Morty like the Reddit elites out there. 2. Did you know that if you dig your nose into enough books,
You don't need to be able to read 1,000 books in a month to be able to watch, enjoy, and understand Rick and Morty.
Eventually morph into Facebook? Hey, wait! Google says that's not true. Facebook It's more concerning you had to Google that. And 3, I'm a certified overthinker now. I babble on like a tinfoil hat conspiracy nut nowadays. But in all seriousness, not much has changed since before, but I also unintentionally developed
The Witches by Roald Dahl right here. I'm telling your mum the snitches instead. Okay. Lovely change in pace there.
the speed reading skill by the end of it all. I'm telling you, smoke coming out of the pages. Was I actually able to grab the context of what I was reading instead of just speeding through the words? Surprisingly, yes. Would you attempt this challenge
Now that part I doubt entirely. That definitely did not happen.
again? No, but I am on the road to 10K. Here's a list of some of the books that gets a chef's smooch in case you guys want to check them out too. I'ma sound like a pyramid schemer right now, but books are an underrated weapon.
So this one is Flying Down by Shel Silverstein, I think. I don't think I've heard of this one, to be honest, and we have It's Dark in the Attic by the same author. This one doesn't have a number on it, however. I don't really know what the proper titles are, I just know the author.
If you are into brain deflation, this challenge is for you. There's many concepts and ideas that can't
And
be
this one
fully
is The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. The Catcher in the Rye Bread. That is also a lovely change in pace, to be honest. I like the creativity with the titles.
explained in depth through a single Reddit post, video summary, or article alone. They're all the author's life experiences carefully condensed into one piece of text. That's not to say some authors purposely make
And this one is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I think this is the last one in this video, not the Full Metal Alchemist. That one is a completely different series by Hiro Arikawa.
books 500 pages while saying the same thing over and over again, like a kid trying to reach a word count on the essay. But they say that if you read 10 books, you live to experience another 10 lives. Now tell me that's not a fire quote. That's nerdy, not
I completely agree with that quote, especially considering that George R. R. Martin is one of my favorite authors of all time.
fire. Facebook. So if you made it to the end, I have a challenge for you guys. If you got a good eye, you might have spotted these yellow stickers on the back of some of the books.
I honestly think we managed to get most of these right. If I made any mistakes, make sure to let me know in the comment section, by the way, so that I can make a list accordingly.
Books I referenced in this video. If you can name all 15 of them, both the authors and the titles, not the parody names, send an email at mybookguesses
I don't think this applies anymore because it's been a year since the video was made, but it was still fun to participate in the challenge.
at gmail.com. And for the first 10 people who got them all right, you'll get an email saying you got it. And you'll get to pick from one of these prizes. The pinned comment will let you know whether or not the challenge is still ongoing. Okay, have fun. Bye bye.
So that was basically my reaction to the video, reading 1,000 books in a month. Let me know what you thought of this reaction video. Apologies because it is quite a long one, but if you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out the rest of my content because it is absolutely amazing. And I will see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye guys.